Good afternoon to you today, parent. Good afternoon to you. My name is Elisha Bond, and I am a empath, and I am a person that's very, very concerned about what's going on among our youth today. Okay, and this is why I am here. I am here to stand and support our youth and our young people today. That's the ones that's not here no longer, that's died from suicide or died from somebody beating or neglecting or doing something wrong to them. I'm here to be a voice for them also. And I'm also here to be a voice for the ones that's still alive, that's being abused, that's being neglected emotionally, physically, mentally. They are being silenced and rejected. My name is Elisha Bond, and I am a youth community care advocate. That's what I am, and that's who I am. And this channel is Talk for Kids. Tell my story, mommy. You might take this channel lightly, parent. You might take it lightly, but this is not a light channel. This is a very, very, very serious channel because the person that I am, I can hear children. I can see children. They come to me in dreams. They come to me in visions. They talk to me and they tell me things. You might call it psychic, but I'm not a psychic. I have special abilities. Okay, I say that I'm a discerner. I can discern things and I can hear things in the spirit realm. I can hear dead children talking to me, telling me what they need for their parents to do to help them because they are not happy. They are not happy that they're not here any longer. They're not happy. They're not happy. They are very, very unrestful. They are not resting. They're unrestful. So today, this channel is for the parents. It's for you parents to show your children that you love them, that you love your children, whether they are still they gone and they're not here no more, or even the ones that's still here. They need your help. Your child need your help. Stop what you're doing, stop what you're thinking, and stop your life and focus on your children. They are more important than anything that's going on in your life right now. My mommy, she never told my story. My mommy never told my story. And my mommy know all the things that happened to me when I was a little girl. She's still living today. And she still won't tell my story. And she still won't even talk to me about my story as a child. Don't be like my mom. Don't be like her. Tell your child's story, what they went through, how they was feeling as children before they committed suicide, before they went to prison, because you got a lot of young people in jail right now. for killing their mama, for killing their daddy, for shooting their cousin. All kind of incidents is why they are in jail or either mental institutions. But you must tell your child's story because that's what they want you to do. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's about what they need and what they want. Because when they was living, guess what, parent? You never did get them what they needed and what they wanted. And that's why they end their life. And I'm just here to tell the truth because I am a youth community care advocate. I must tell the truth. And I must speak for the young people in this earth. So no, my mama never told my story. My daddy never told my story. No one never told my story. So I am here for a few things, a few reasons, and I'm going to name those reasons why I am here today. You got all kind of channels on YouTube. You have all kind of stuff on Facebook, Twitter. You got all kind of stuff going on, but you don't see nothing for children. How terrible is that? You as parents, that is so very terrible. Little Johnny took his life. Little Pam took her life. Little John took his life. Little Billy took his life. Little Sue took her life. And you just want to go on with your life. Go on with your life. If you can't, if you are going on with your life, if your child is not haunting you, because I told you the children are not resting. That's not here. Okay? And I, as the advocate, the youth community care person, me as the advocate, I would like to raise awareness. And I need your help, parent. I need your help to do that. See, it's going to show right now how you say, I love my son, I love my daughter, I love my children, I love them. If you love them, then join me right here in support of them, in support of your child, if you love them. It could be that somebody in your family and you are their auntie or their uncle or their grandma. It could be somebody in your family, a little girl or a little boy that's being abused and neglected by their parent. Get on this channel, this platform, and talk about it. You don't have to give no names. We're going to keep it private unless we can call each other and get on the telephone and have a private conversation about that. But we don't need to call any names. If your son or your daughter is dead by the means of suicide, gun violence, drug violence, whatever it is that they're not here, rape, kidnapping, whatever it is that they are not here. Some of your children are missing. They've been kidnapped. You haven't saw your child in 10 years, 5 years, and you don't have nothing to bring awareness about your sons and your daughters, how they've been kidnapped, and you haven't saw them in 5 years. Don't you understand that your child need your voice? Your child need your help. It's important. It's very important. Okay? So like I was saying to you, parents, like I was saying to you, parents, man or woman, like I was saying, grandma, auntie, uncle, you know somebody in your family that's been uh, abused by, sexually abused, one of the little children, somebody in your family that's been neglected and not treated right, not the parent is not feeding them, the parent is not taking care of them, the parent is not treating the child the right way. It's a lot of aunties and uncles and cousins now that know this abuse is going on and won't say nothing about it. And what is my passion behind what I'm doing? Number one, I told you I'm an empath. I have a lot of empathy. Number two, I've been neglected and mistreated and used and abused in my life as a child, as a teenager. That's my second passion. My third passion for this channel is to bring forth some awareness so maybe we can come together as a group of parents and start bringing forth laws. Take it to the Senate, take it to the president, bring forth laws to protect our children in these schools where they're being bullied and rejected and neglected. They can't even go to the lunchroom and eat their lunch unless somebody what bullying them, talking about them, making them feel scared, making them feel bad, making them feel like they don't belong in the lunchroom. We need to make laws to protect our children from these people that want to hurt them, from these people, the little children. It could be little children, it could be grown people in the schools. You got teachers that don't like children. Am I right, brother? You got teachers that don't that neglect children in the classroom. It's so many children come home telling their mom and their dad, you know what, I don't like Teacher Smith. Because Teacher Smith don't, she treat the other kids better than me. She overlooked me all the time. I'm always raising my hand in the class and she won't let me say nothing. Teacher Smith won't let me go to the bathroom when I need to go to the bathroom. I have to just sit there until she get ready to let me go. She just overlooked me. Or Teacher John. See, this is the abuse that's going on in our school area. We need laws for this kind of stuff. We need laws for this. We need laws to protect our children. Because it's a lot of children are dying by the means of suicide because they've been bullied, they've been mistreated, or they've been overlooked in their school. It's not only in the schools, it's in the homes where the children live. It's in the homes. And this is why the government's made a law to where they say if the child is being mistreated and the child is being neglected in the home, they have the right to take the child out the home. Why do you want to take the child out the home? Take the parent out the home. That's what I feel. Take the parent out the home that's mistreating the child. Why put the child away somewhere and all of that? But I think they have laws where if you neglecting your child, the parent do have to go, may go to jail or may get some time in jail. So they do have that law. But I just know the way that the system is set up now, it's not good enough. It's not doing what it needs to do. It's to keep the child safe mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's not keeping them safe. Okay? So there's so many sectors and areas where children are being mistreated. Playing in the neighborhood, playing on the playground in school, in the neighborhood, you've been talked about, you've been laughed at, all of that. And I just want to say this. You have people that's 50 years old now, 60 years old, end up committing suicide. Why? Because they have grown up in their life, have become men and women, and have carried the wounds of an abused child, mistreated and a neglected child all their life. They have carried that wound. And they can't deal with the pain of it anymore because it hurts. It really do hurt when you've been rejected and abandoned and neglected and looked over all your life. How would that make a person feel, bruh? I'm gonna ask my friend here. Give me your opinion on that. How would that make a person feel that grew up in that environment where somebody bullied them, somebody neglected them, somebody abused them, somebody mistreated them emotionally, physically? How would that make a person? How would a person feel at 30 years old or 40 years old or 50 going through that? What would be their feeling? You got to talk louder so they can hear you.
Feel like they've been abused.
They would feel like they've been abused?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have, excuse me. Watch. You don't have children of your own, right? But you raised your nephew, right? And your nephew could you tell your story could you adopted him, right? Could you tell your nephew's story? Because this platform is all about telling the stories of the children because they wasn't able to, and they never had the opportunity, and they never had a platform where they can go stand before somebody or stand before an audience and tell the world how they are feeling and what they have went through as children. Okay? I would love to have a platform in this world for children just to get up on the mic in front of everybody, a room full of parents, and just begin to talk and tell their story. Because seem like to me, the mommies and the daddies don't want to tell the story of the children. Why? Because they want to hide the fact that they wasn't good mothers and they wasn't good parents and they wasn't good fathers. They want to hide that fact that there was no good for the child life. Okay? So tell your nephew's story because today we're going to use you as the first parent on this channel to tell the story of your child. You his daddy, because you adopted him. Okay? So tell the story How did it begin with your nephew life?
Well,
And what is his name?
Christopher.
Christopher. And how old was Christopher when you adopted him?
Well, it began when he was 5 years old. His mother,
Talk a little louder if you
yeah,
can.
his mother,
It began when he was 5 years
yeah,
old. His mother was.
she, she she neglected him as a parent, even when he was in the top 40. And she treated him less fair, I would say, than the other children that she had.
So
He was the oldest.
okay, he was the oldest of how many children?
She had about four children.
4 children, okay, okay. And he was the oldest.
He was the oldest child. And she just, me being a witness, I'll say this, me being a witness, I treated him.
Okay, that's your sister that you're talking about, your cousin.
No, that's one of my nieces.
Okay, it's his
Child.
niece. It's his niece. So he adopted his niece's son. Okay, his nephew, but really that was his niece, his mom. So okay, you witnessed how he was being treated, and that goes back to what I just said. When you got other people like the grandma and the uncles and the aunties and the cousin them can go to these little children's house and see how the parent or the parents are treating them. So you witness bad behavior coming from your niece towards your nephew. Okay, go ahead.
Um, we, she began to just treating bad, not a good parent.
Well, what was she doing? Give us an example of a bad parent that you felt she was wrong.
Well, she had an attitude of really caring for her like community and rather than rather than mistreating them and ignoring them.
Yeah.
She and my that's like who we had parents because but she really didn't want him. That's the attitude there. She neglected him.
She didn't want him, but what was the neglect that you witnessed?
Well, he had a certain hate toward him.
A certain hate. She didn't like him. She didn't
like very well.
Okay.
And she began to show it. I cared for him less than she did shoes.
So she didn't buy him no shoes. She didn't buy him no clothes. She didn't feed him. Did she slap him up beside his head? Did she beat on him? What is the abuse that you saw? You can see that she didn't like him, but what else did you witness concerning your nephew and his mom?
He showed the word to show that she neglected giving children more love than she did for the other two too.
Okay.
You know, and I told that she left loving them. One day she was short of behavior. It's not known as a son. You know, like some others.
What was she doing for you to witness that behavior? What is it that she was doing to show that? Was she hitting him or what was she doing?
Like she wanted nothing to do with it at all.
Well, okay.
Showing that I said neglecting him.
Okay, neglect. It was neglect.
Like
So it was emotional neglect. It was not physical. You didn't see her beating on him or nothing like that. He wasn't beat on. Did your nephew ever tell you that his mom beat him?
No.
Okay, okay.
I didn't tell her happy to call him, but I knew the wisdom that she sure just like children with her older son.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
That,
So in other words, you were saying that she would possibly go buy the other children a pair of shoes and wouldn't buy him any. Stuff like that. Things like that. Or she would get other children food and just probably wouldn't give him none till later or something. It was just like favoritism. Okay, okay, that's the word you're looking for. Favoritism. And what that do to a child, it really cause a lot of emotional damage to the child emotions. Okay, that's what that do. Yes. Okay, let me ask you this question. Why you never told his story to anyone other than me? Did you, I don't know, have you ever told his story as his parent to anybody else?
Not really.
Why? I want to see, because this is what the platform is all about. Mommy, tell my story. Daddy, tell my story. This is what the platform. So why we can see that he's been neglected, and we're going to talk more about Chris, because I need you to let the audience know what happened to Chris and where's Chris at now. Because we can see that Chris was emotionally abused, okay? Mentally, he was abused, okay? Neglected, okay? So why you as his uncle that adopted Chris, at what age?
5 years old.
5 years, 5 years old. He was such, you adopted him at 5.
I think it's about 8.
Okay. The abuse started at 5 people.
He went.
Parents, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
He put him in nursing homes now.
She put him in a nursing home.
Nursing home.
A foster home.
Foster.
Yes, yes.
So
at 5 years old, wait a minute. At 5 years old, she did not want Chris. Okay. Okay.
Sometimes people have children. But they're despised.
Okay.
Even when they're born.
Okay.
They're born, sometimes, maybe I don't know. She probably didn't want to have him in the first place, or have any children.
Okay.
When she got him. It was like some kind of grudge, some kind of gift.
Okay. Okay.
And she probably doing her children, doing her relationship with his father.
Yeah, that plays a role in it. Good. That's.
Yeah, sometimes neglect, despise, and children.
Okay, this is Billy. His name is Billy, who's talking to you. Billy, aka CDI. Okay, he's telling you, as I asked you before, why is it that you never told your nephew's story? Do you know that his story was so dramatic? What he went through, it was such a dramatic experience for a 5-year-old to go through that. And you adopted him at 8 years old, right? To the foster homes and all of that, and they mistreated him in the foster homes. Yes. Yes. They molested him and raped him in the foster home. Yes.
After I got 8, that's when my mother and I took over.
Okay.
Of course, he placed in my hand.
Okay.
His parents.
Okay.
His parents. particular, before that time, I was saying that he went into a behavior center.
Okay.
I thought from to behavior center. Yeah, Christian behavior. Uh, Now that disorder.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You got on medication, that this is what you disorder. So the clinic, the clinic, the clinic,
Okay.
even you order them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then after that, you're gonna take, you know, well, you have to take room. You have to go to the clinic, you do them. That doesn't say, like, let's kind of, we,
Yeah.
another,
Okay. So he went to a behavior clinic or center because the way that he was behaving in the foster home, right? Yeah, they was mistreating him and he was acting out and he had went through so much already with his mom. Okay? So another thing I want to talk about, I'm gonna let you finish telling the story. Another thing I want to talk to you about, parents, is this. Uh, when they put the children in the foster homes, or when any child go to a foster home, it's not a good place for them. It's not a good place for them because these people are strangers and your child don't know them, okay? And they don't know your child. So putting your children or letting your child go to a foster home because you don't want them or you know these are not good. I don't even know why they made foster homes, to be honest. And I know it's all about money, really, to be honest too. It's not really about helping the child, protecting the child. It's not none of that because we can see all the terrible things that happens in foster homes. So I'm glad you are telling the story of Chris. And again, I want to go back to this. Why you never told his story before?
well, I didn't choose to start a platform to tell people about this dog, as far as the story is concerned.
They can't hear you. You got to speak louder.
I didn't choose to build a platform or build a platform to tell the story. What I chose to do, I was involved in church. I was trying to help Christy with a better child. I took him to church.
Okay.
Uh, uh, the results were not good. He didn't learn anything.
He didn't learn anything at church, so the church didn't help him. So instead of his uncle telling the story of his child, Chris, he chose not to do it. And that's the problem. And that's why I am here. Because the children want you to tell their story. They're eating something. Hit their butt, hit their butt, hit their butt, sir. Excuse me, my chihuahuas. This is the main thing. You sending them to church or you sending them here. No, you need to tell little Chris' story should have been told. And if someone like his uncle or someone in his family would have told his story, guess what would have happened to little Chris? Let me show you the power. Let me show you the power. And when you put somebody that's been through emotional abuse and physical abuse and mental abuse, let me show you the power of you telling this story. The power of you telling their story will actually make them feel like they are somebody. It would make them feel like they are alive, that they exist, that someone actually cared enough about me to tell what I have been through in my life. See, that's a game changer right there, parent. And that's why the children are coming at me saying, please help me tell my mommy, tell my daddy, tell somebody to tell my story. Because this is what will help the child identify in reality to let him know that he's or she is actually a real person. And somebody love them enough and somebody care about them enough to speak about their life. This is it. This is the game changer right here. And this why this platform was created just for that reason. And your dead children, the ones that killed themselves or got gun violence or somebody killed them or they took their own life, they will be able to rest knowing that you have did what you're supposed to do as a parent to make them feel like you even love them and cared about them. But if nothing is being done about what they went through and you're not telling and speaking and trying to get no laws and stuff signed in place to change the situation so other children don't have to go through those things. This is what's making the child very unhappy. So let's go back to Chris. So he decided church instead of setting up something in his neighborhood, calling out some parents or some people that he know at his church or wherever he was going. I need y'all to sit here and hear the story of my nephew named Chris, my son that I adopted to make my child. Okay? Do you understand what it did for Chris when he heard his uncle loved him enough to get some kind of awareness, some kind of help? They not able to tell their story. Who have Chris ever told his story to that you know? Did he talk to you about it?
No.
See?
Sure.
He never shared it with him. Why? Because he felt like he didn't love him enough. He felt like, and it's a lot of that going on today with the children not feeling that the parent loved them enough to talk about what they are going through or been through. See, it's all about a feeling that they get. See, they know that I love them, and that's why they come to me right now, even in dreams and all kind of ways. They contact me because they know that I really do love children. And I really do want to help children. So what happened after you taking him to church for so long and we get ready to leave? We got about another 20, 30 minutes and we leaving. What else happened?
Well, after
You talking to the audience, not me.
he began as she got older, so she no longer we couldn't help her.
Well, what was Chris doing at church when he went to
Well,
church?
she was. I always try to keep her beside me,
Yes,
and do a little.
yes.
Let my shit help her. The
Okay, excuse me, let me stop you. Because there's so many kids that's been mentally and physically, emotionally abused that go to church and it don't help them. Let me stop you right there. Did the preacher of your church or the pastor, did he know anything about what was going on with Chris?
No, I share the story.
And why not?
Why not? Well,
That's what you took him to church to get help. So maybe the pastor, if you would have told the pastor something, maybe the pastor, see again, parents, this is what I am showing you today with you parents. You don't love your children enough. You cannot make excuses. You cannot make excuses for your own neglection of your child. You cannot. Billy, he's sitting up here trying to make excuses for what he should have did and he didn't do. There's no excuse. You have to love your children. You have to love your children more than you love your own life. Okay? So he thought little Chris was going to be okay. This child has been through tremendously lots of pain. Lots of pain. Can you realize what he went through as a child? Being overlooked by his own mama and thrown in behavior centers and foster homes and oh my, can you imagine the emotional trauma that his little brain and mind and heart went through? It's so many millions of children like Chris in this earth. Some here and some that's not here. They chose to take their life, end their life. Little Chris didn't never go that far, but he ends his life in another way. And we're going to talk about how little Chris ends his life. So his uncle never decided to talk to the pastor or the church mother or nobody in the church about what his nephew, little Chris, was going through. He thought just sitting him there next to him, listen to the pastor hoop and holler and slob and sweat and talk about Jesus is going to help Chris. No, talking about Jesus ain't going to never help a person that's going through emotional pain. Let me tell you that. Talking about Jesus will never help a person that's going through, a child or whoever it is, grown person that's going through emotional pain. Never. Because talking about Jesus is not talking about the reason why the child went through what they went through. Talking about Jesus is not going to help the children because it's not addressing anything that they went through as children. So that's why church will never help a person that's been wounded as a child. And you got some people that have grown up still in the church, still members of the church, that has been wounded and abused and traumatized as children. And they still got those same wounds, that same hurts, them same feelings, that same trauma inside of them. And that's why they're so miserable. And that's why they're so unhappy. And that's why they are the way that they are today. So back to little Chris, we're going to read an article about suicide rate before we leave. Go ahead. So the pastor didn't help him. You saw that. So after a while, little Chris didn't even want to go to church anymore, right? Okay. Because it wasn't doing nothing to help him. He didn't see nothing. He didn't get no connection. He didn't get no hugs from nobody. Am I right? He didn't get no hugs. He didn't get no kind of connection. The children in the church, the son, they didn't like him, right? They didn't care nothing about him, right? Am I right?
Right.
Did they connect with little Chris, the children in the church?
No. 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 They didn't. What's wrong with me not saying?
Okay. Talk up for the audience.
Wrong with me not saying. It's a
Condition. A situation.
You know. Well, anytime I say something, what much? And them how he told him how he had been insulted. His mother wanted him wrong. But still, they didn't have enough connection to reach out to them.
Okay.
I try to do that, take their hand, and that's, and
Okay, so what he is saying now that he just didn't do the right thing when it came to Chris. He did not do the right thing as a parent. So why would you? You might as well just left him in the foster home. To be honest, you might as well just left him in the mental institution. To be honest, which is the behavior center they call it. It's really just a mental institution. You might as well have just left Chris there because you know what? You really didn't do nothing to help Chris. To be honest, you didn't do anything as a parent to help him. You didn't talk to him about his problems, am I right? You didn't sit him down. He said no, he did not. Listen, parent, you are the kind of parents in the earth right now that have the children crying out to me, dead and alive, crying out to me. They hungry. Their mom ain't gave them no food. They all kind of things. The children come to me in visions and dreams and crying out to me. Please give me food. Please give me this. Please help me out. I ain't got no water to drink. It's all kind of things. Okay? So you might as well have left them there. The reason I say that, Billy, is because there's absolutely nothing that you did to help Chris. See, you was taking him out of the foster home to help him, right? But you didn't do nothing to help him. You didn't do anything. You didn't sit him down on the couch and say, you know what, Chris, I understand that you have been through a lot of things in your life. You have been through a lot of hurt. You've been through a lot of pain. You've been through a lot of everything in your life. And I'm sorry that you went through that. Did you ever sit him down and say that? Huh? I can't hear the audience.
no, I didn't.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Why? Because he is a careless parent that don't love his child. Careless. He neglected. So in other words, he got neglected in the foster home, got neglected in his house, and then when he moved with his uncle, he got more neglection. So his whole life was full of neglection. His whole entire life. See, us as parents, we think giving our child some new shoes or, buying them some Jordans or an Xbox or whatever it is that your child enjoy doing for entertainment, we think that that's going to make the pain and the wounds and the suffering and the scars go away of the child being neglected by their parent. And it won't do that. It will not do that. After they get through playing the Xbox, they still thinking about how you neglected them how you never embraced them. How you never said, I love you, son. I love you, daughter. How you never went to you went to the school and they kept telling you, Mama, please don't send me to school, Daddy. I don't like the school. Please don't send me there. Please, these children going to hurt me. They are going to hurt me. This is the title of this broadcast. Why? 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 They going to hurt me. That's the title of it. They going to hurt me. Why? I don't understand, Mommy, why I am not here. That's the title. So you might as well left him, Billy, where he was. You might as well have left him because he was still getting neglected. You didn't make no connection with little Chris. Am I right? 11 years old now. He didn't make no connection with little Chris. And why you didn't make no connection with him? Can you answer that for the parents today? Maybe you answering that question can help some of the parents today to understand why things are going on with their child that they don't understand.
Well, as a parent then, but that's um, really good question.
He said that's a good question, but can you answer it?
Um, I really didn't do much I should have done.
But why? But why? What was the reason that you saw little Chris go through all this suffering, all this pain, all this everything that he been through, and you did not make no connection with him? You did not embrace him. You did not hug him. You did not let him lay on your shoulder. You did not put your arm around him and pat him on his head or pat him on his back. You did none of that, right? Huh?
I hugged him at time and embraced him. It's sure
You hugged him at times, or was it a lot, or sometimes?
sometimes.
It wasn't enough. Okay. But my question to you is this, because I'm getting ready to, I'm gonna let you tell the parents what happened to Chris now. Where is Chris now? Okay. Why you feel, Billy, that you as a parent did not embrace Chris the right way, that he can actually feel your love and connect with you. And see, once you embrace your child and he feel that love, now he's connected with you. He feel like he can open up and talk to you about anything that he's feeling or she is going through. They got to feel the connection with the parent. If they don't feel a connection with the parent, they're not going to talk to the parent about nothing that they're feeling or going through with emotionally or mentally. They're not going to talk to you because they don't feel that you love them enough to talk to you. So can you answer why you never made that you never showed him that love that he always needed from the very first day he was born in this earth? You know he didn't get it from his mom. He didn't get it from the foster. He didn't get it from no one. So why did you not give him that love? This should have been the whole reason why you took him out of the foster home or why you adopted him, is to give him that love that he never got from anyone. So why did you not give him that love? Mm.
Love you really need the children to understand. So
They can't hear you. Talk up.
You know that you love.
Yes.
So I guess as a parent, or adopted parent, I would let children know. Maybe it's because child, uh, and for myself, things happened to me. But I had a mother that that she knew the love that I need to have from her. So I would think that's the reason why I couldn't show him the love he needed to show. And, some others show me what I need.
Okay, you hear what he's saying? Very good answer. Very good, sincere answer that will help the parents that hear this video. He said the reason that he didn't give Chris any love is because he never got no love from his parent, his mom. You didn't have your daddy around, right? He didn't raise you. So he was raised by a single mom. So he said he didn't get no love from his mom, so he don't know how to embrace Chris. He don't know how to connect with Chris and to make Chris, uh, help Chris to feel that love and that comfort that only a parent can give to a child, right? So think about that, parents. See, you've been traumatized yourself as little boys and little girls, and you traumatizing your child. But now it's time to bring awareness. It's time to bring some understanding. It's time for us to create something that can not only support our children that's here and that's not here, and that will also support us as broken and battered and abused parents. That's what we want to create on this channel, on this platform. So feel free, anytime I'm here live, please come and tell your child's story. And let's see what we can do to get some laws, especially about bullying. We need to have a law where uh, your child come home telling you, Mommy, I don't want to go to that school. I don't like the school. I hate that school. These kids going to do something to hurt me. And uh, we need to have a law in place for our children where we don't have to send our child to school. Right away, when they come home complaining and all of that, right away it's homeschool. Right away, they need to have, the government need to pay for it. They pay for everything else. They need to there. They can have a tutor to come out to your home and teach your child. They don't have to go to school. This needs to be a law set in place to govern her and to help our children to be safe and to feel safe. They don't feel safe in the school. They don't feel good in the school. They feel terrible. How would you like to go somewhere? And I know you don't experience the same thing as children, right? So we're gonna keep talking about this. This something got to be done. Maybe I can write a petition up. We can sign the petition and put it on the president's desk or put it on the Congress desk and say this is a law that we would like to have for our children concerning school, that they don't have to go and you pay for someone, a teacher or whoever, to come to our home to teach our child so our child won't kill themselves. Because the suicide rate is too high from bullying and being neglected and rejected in school. So what happened to little Chris now? And I'm going to read this article and we're leaving.
Well, as he got older, he was getting deeply joining games, kids, putting bikes and things. Do bad things. You know, well, they led him what to do now.
Okay, so he got started stealing and taking things that he never had himself. You know, he never had a bike. Nobody never bought him a bike. Why? Did you buy him a bike? You bought him a bike eventually. Very good. Okay, but he started stealing and taking things and all of that. You know, and join the gangs, because see, the gangs are this. The gangs are where you feel some kind of connection. You feel some kind of love. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting it from your family, your mom and your dad and your sisters and brothers now. So you join the gang because you feel some kind of family. They become your family. They become your family. They become, the leader become your daddy. The leader of the gang become your dad or your mom. You never had a mom or dad that was good to you and paid you any attention. So that's why they join the gang, because they feel a connection. Okay?
That's right.
I know I used to be in gangs when I was younger. I joined gangs. Matter of fact, I was a leader of a gang. Yes. So again, I understand what's going on here. So what else happened to little Chris? And we're gonna read the article.
Well, he after doing it, we call it child institution. like a prison, where they say, where they do bad things.
Juvenile, yes,
Juvenile.
juvenile. Juvenile's another place where they have millions and millions of children locked up. And juvenile is not going to help the children. This is not going to help the children. Why? Because again, you're not getting to the core wound of why the child is in juvenile. You just got them locked behind a door and locked behind here and locked behind there. And what is that really doing? It's not really doing anything but making their life worse. They again, we need platforms for our children to speak so they can tell their story. I'm talking about the juvenile children, the mental institute children all over the world. They need a microphone in their hand with a room full of grown people, moms, dads, uncles, nieces, room full of grown people, and just talk. And this is what they want to do, tell their story. So they keep everything bottled up inside. And then they become bitter and they become angry and they become frustrated. And then they don't want to live no more. They jump in front of trains and all kinds, get a gun and kill themselves, suicide, jump off bridges, all kind of things they do, okay, to end their life because they feel that they don't have a place in this world where somebody can just hear what I need to say. That's how crucial it is for a platform for young people to speak. Okay, the juvenile hall. They need to have a platform in the juvenile hall where all the young people can get there with their parents and whoever, and they just talk about what happened to them, why they life the way it is. But guess what? They don't have that. They don't have that. Again, this needs to be a law that we put on the president, a petition that we put on the president's table, the Congress table, to do that for our juvenile children in the mental institutions and all that. We can call it a once a month, or I say not once a month. The children need more attention than that. I would say I would say every 2 weeks. We can, we'll have that where the children can talk and say what they need, and we're going to be there listening to them. And that would make them feel so much alive. That would make them feel so much better. Anytime that you tell your story to someone, no, they don't want to tell it to the doctor at the mental institute. They don't want to tell it to the nurse at the mental institution. They don't want to tell it to the nurse or the doctor or the psychiatrist at the juvenile center. They want to talk to people in their families. So we would call that Family Connection Day for youth and their parents. This is what I want to do, but I need the support of the parents to help me to do it. We can change whatever we need to change or want to change if we stand up and do what's right. And if we do what's right, guess what? God will be behind us and in front of us, leading us and showing us and getting it done for us. Fighting for children and young people is something that's right to do. That's something that God will really shine down on us as parents with when we do that. Because they have no one to fight for them. That's why they went to the Son of God, the young people. Because they and then Peter and them wanted to run them away, but they had to get that embracement. They had to get that love that he had. They needed to feel that from him because they wasn't getting it from their home and they wasn't getting it from no one else. So that's why they went to him because they felt so much love from him. They felt, and that's why the young people come to me in dreams and stuff because they feel that love from me. So where's Chris now?
Well, he, after being a
Juvenile centers, yes.
he said that he let out of probation after his college. He let out of probation. And I would go see him often, even at times when they had a time for parents to be advised to see their children from England.
Uh-huh.
So I did that for sure not especially. I just come to show love, not to be concerned, really places where he locked up. This, this,
No, you can't show him love because really he's saying it's your fault that he's there. And it's my mama's fault. And it's all your fault. Because when you had me out there with you, living with you, you didn't do nothing to help me. So what you want? Why visit me? Why, I mean, it might have made him feel okay because you was calming because he didn't have nothing else to do there. But I'm just saying, really, to be honest, he really blamed you and his caregivers for everything that happened in his life. I blame my mama for my life right now today because I know she's a very terrible, bad parent. And she still is right now today. I blame her for my life. And if you know how many children blame themselves, saying that they didn't do good and they didn't do right because they don't understand that precept or understanding it. So where's Chris now? We gotta go.
But after you can after he released him, you know, saying I'm going to take him. He did a drug gang, I guess, rob people, in the gang.
Yes.
All this. So then he also breaking into homes and quit.
Okay. You start doing robbery.
Homes.
Yes. Yes.
And a daddy him to.
Yes.
Like a still trying to keep getting too.
Yes.
So he kept on until he ended up taking a young man's life.
He kept on robbing and stealing and doing. To see, that shows you that the youth home don't help you. He was in and out of the youth home, right? In the behavior centers, the mental institute. Didn't do anything to help them. It's not going to ever do anything to help young people and little children and little girls and little boys. It's not going to help them. We as parents, we as individuals, we as grown people in this world have to help the young people. They need our help. They need our help. They need our support. They need our love. Somebody on the outside, not nobody up in the mental institution or talking to them. They don't need them people. Them people there just to keep them calm, just to keep them from going crazy and going off up in there. That's all they there for. They not there to that can help them. But anyway, he ended up robbing and killing. And where's Chris now?
He's in a maximum prison.
He's in maximum prison. What? How old is he now?
Chris, he's got to be close to 30.
He's about 30 years old. How old was he when he went to prison?
Went to prison. He was
22, 21?
He was 20.
20 years old, 21 years old. He went to prison for what?
Killed a young man.
He murdered someone. He murdered a family man. He took a gun and did what? Went to the man's house and robbed him or whatever?
No, just mentioned on the street or something. He was with the gang at the time.
He was with one of his gang members or some of his gang members, and they went to see this man walking, and they tried to rob him, and the man was like hesitant, I guess, or whatever, and Chris ended up pulling the trigger, right? And he pulled the gun and he blowed the man out, killed him, took his life. So now Chris is in where? Jail. Maximum security for how long?
For life.
For life. They gave him 60 years. That's triple life. They gave Chris 60 years, triple life. You see how his life ends. Look how his life ends. It's so many Chris's like that. So many Chris's. So many Pams and so many life end like that. Why? Because you parents didn't do your jobs. I'm gonna read. Thank you, Billy, for sharing that the story about your child. Thank you. How do you feel now that Chris is locked away till he get 80 years old?
Well, since let's think about it, I know I can do more too bad as a parent. Um, you feel sorry for them, you know, you got to give them next time. So, you
How
know,
you feel sorry for him and you never shed a tear for him, right?
you know,
Okay, did y'all hear that, parents? He never cried for little Chris. And little Chris got double, triple life in prison. Why? Why you didn't cry for little Chris? If you just think about little Chris, I would cry for little Chris. If I just think about little Chris' life, his story, what he went through, me personally, I begin to cry because it's very sad to me. So why you never cried for your son?
you have no empty, no empty,
Exactly. No, the word is you don't love little Chris. If anybody you love, and you see them going through all of that, you're gonna shed some tears. So we thank you for your story about your little son, your little nephew Chris. Thank you. Hopefully the parents can hear this video and get something out of the video, and it can connect with them, and hopefully they will support me and what I am trying to do for young people. Okay, so we're going to end it with reading this article and we're going to leave. It says suicide, pediatric mental health minute series. National surveillance data suggests that roughly 7 to 8% of adolescents attempt suicide each year. Roughly 17% report serious suicidal ideation. Roughly 157,000 young people try to kill themselves every year with suicide. Approximately, it say, what is the suicide rate for children? Approximately 2 million, whew, that's a lot of children, attempt suicide each year because they don't like the school. They've been bullied in the school. They've been rejected in the school. They've been denied in the school. Or at home, they've been mistreated. They've been raped. They've been abused. They've been laughed at. They've been talked about, physically, mentally abused at their home. In the neighborhood, playing with their little friends, they're not treated. Look, it say 2 million of children have attempted suicide each year among the U.S. pediatric deaths. That is a lot of children and young people that's trying to take their life. They don't want to live anymore. What are you doing, parents, that make your children so miserable being in your presence, being in your life, being around you that they want to take and kill their own self? More than 25% are by suicide, it says. That's a lot, right? 25% is by suicide or by suicide. Wow, that's a lot of deaths among children. 25% of children is dying by suicide or attempt. It is the second leading cause of death for children and young adults aged 10 to 24, causing more deaths than any single major illness and second only to unintentional injuries. So it's the second leading cause of death among children 5 years old. 7 years old, 8 years old. It's the second leading death. I see why I have to be here on this channel. I see why I have to do what I'm doing. I see why I have to. Because no one else is going to do it. So I have to do it. And I'm going to leave a link to my radio channel on Blog Talk Radio. I'm going to leave, it's called, my radio channel for children is called Talk for Kids radio channel. I will leave a link in the chat if you want to go over there and listen to me advocating, trying to get parents to come forth to help me to support our children in this earth and the ones that's not. You can go over there and listen. Okay. So it's the second leading death of young children and young adults, 10 to 24. You got grown people want to kill themselves. Teenagers, 10 years old, 8, 12. The list go on and on. So like this video and subscribe to the channel. Share this channel so we can get the word out on YouTube. We can get the word out on YouTube to bring forth awareness about children, young people. 24 years old don't want to live. Why do a 24-year-old person want to die, see? At 24 years old, guess what? I wanted to die too, people. Listen, that's how miserable my life was growing up as a child. At 24, I didn't want to be here no more. I didn't have a reason to be here. I didn't have a reason to live. And that's exactly how young people, children are feeling today. And they rather just take their life because they don't have no support, they don't have no love, they don't have no one that care anything about them. All you care about parent mostly is going to church, like this brother, Billy, that's all he wanted to do was go to church, right, Billy?
Yep.
It wasn't about Chris, what Chris was going through, what he was doing at home, you know. Yeah, how did he get in the gang? Because Billy was in church too much, right? And he wasn't paying attention to Chris. That's all Chris ever needed was somebody to pay him attention. That's all he ever wanted. That's all he desired. And he never did get it. So he said, forget it. Forget my life. So he ended his life in suicide also. Chris did. Why do I say that, Billy? Why do I say that Chris ended his life in suicide? And we get ready to go now, people, parents. You don't, he might understand why I say that. Let me tell you why I said parent. He ended his life in suicide because his life is over. He behind bars for the rest of his life. So he might as well be dead. He is dead. He is dead. So he ended his life also in suicide. Not pulling the trigger on himself, but pulling the trigger on someone else. Ended his life in suicide. Talk to y'all later, parents. Subscribe. Like I say, like the video, share the video. And I will try to make it back here where I have to. I have to every Sunday. Every Sunday, I believe, I will come on here and do a live. Every Sunday. Talk to you. I know I'm going to add some videos and some information and stuff. I'm going to add some videos to the channel. Some videos. Talk to you later. Talk for kids. Tell my story, Mommy.